Alright, so I want to talk about socialism. What is socialism? Because I think a lot of people don't really understand it. I understand it because I live in a socialist country, so I can tell you about it directly from living in a socialist country. First of all, I want to say that I think that currently, in the country that I live in, and pretty much in most countries, especially G7 countries all around the world, socialism is basically not pure socialism, but in fact, just checking this thing, it's fascism. So fascism is when there's a triangle between the government and banks and the big major corporations, usually export corporations. And in Japan, that's called the zaibatsu. So the three, this group of three, this triangle, they do a lot of damage. They rip off the public to no ends, and they cause a huge lot of an extreme amount of damage to the economy, and it basically end up destroying everything. The public suffers under this fascist system. So fascism is a very bad idea, and I'm talking about economic fascism here. So basically, this social fascist system. Excuse me, I'm actually really sick right now. So the basis of this is in this type of a system, there is no money, or money just doesn't really even exist. So, which is what we have now. We have debt. So the government issues just debt, and the central bank buys the government debt and then dumps out a bunch of currency into the economy that people use. And so the government is going to borrow more money, more and more and more and more and more. They're going to issue all these bonds, and all these going to borrow all this money. So when the government issues bonds, they're borrowing money. This is deficit spending. So they're just borrowing out the wazoo. They're borrowing more and more money. So they can pay for free healthcare for all, and they can pay for pensions for all, and they can pay for equality, and they can pay for all these programs, and they can pay for the military, and they can pay for the warfare and the welfare, and they can pay themselves, and the government gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and the government just borrows more money to pay itself. Okay, so what happens when the government makes all this debt? Well, the debt is the currency in the system. So the currency is the debt. So in the U.S., the debt is the dollar. Dollar is a debt instrument from the Federal Reserve. And in the Japanese, it's the yen. And in the euro in Europe. Well, these are all debt instruments. So when the government borrows and borrows so much money ad infinitum, they just borrow away. What's going to happen? There's two things are going to happen. One thing is you're going to get inflation. Okay, so the prices are going to go up. The prices are going to go up and up and up and up and up, and the public is going to suffer. And then the other thing that's going to happen is you're going to get higher taxes, because the government is going to have to pay back this money. So what they're going to do is they're going to charge more taxes. So the government borrows more money, they're going to have to adjust the system, and you're going to have to pay higher taxes. Now the United States doesn't have high taxes relatively. Why? Because the United States dollar is the world reserve currency currently, 2019 right now. So, I mean, when they lose that status, you can't do MMT, modern monetary theory. It's not going to work. You can't just borrow money to make yourself rich. That's a really foolish way of thinking. So when you do that, like I said, you're going to just ramp up taxes and ramp up inflation. When inflation's high, people can't afford to buy stuff anymore. So the economy suffers. And when taxes go up, not only do people are more broke because they got to pay all their production wages, labor, benefit that they get from their labor. They get paid from some job that they do. They have to pay more out of their salary to taxes, so they have less money to go shopping and buy stuff. So then the economy suffers. And you're going to have a decrease in production. Why? Because companies, their corporate tax is also going to go up. And so when the corporate tax goes up, what's going to happen? They're going to have to lay people off. They're going to have to reduce production lines. They're going to have to cut production volumes. So you're just going to see, it's going to be a disaster. So socialism economically, this fascist socialist system, the end result is a total, complete disaster. The taxes to the moon, inflation to the moon, hyperinflation. And that's what you get in all these systems that are debt-based economic systems. They're fiat, debt-based Ponzi scheme systems. They're extremely dangerous, and people suffer. People suffer greatly under these systems. And that's the saddest thing about it, you know. And people just, they don't understand. And how can we change this, you know? Well, we got to stop working, or we got to get out of this currency paradigm. We got to escape this debt trap that everybody's in. We have to refuse to pay the taxes. You know, I got $1,000 every month bill for residency tax. Just because I live here, that means I have to pay $1,000 a month to the town hall for being just for breathing the air here. The privilege of me living here, I got to pay $1,000 a month. I don't make that much money. I got to pay $500 a month for a healthcare system. I'm sick right now. I didn't go to the doctor. Why? Because if I go to the doctor, I got to pay a premium. I don't have money. I don't have any money left. I'm broke. I'm fucking broke, and I'm sick. I can't even go to the doctor. And even if I did go to the doctor, I got to wait in a line. I got to waste all my time. I got to waste my whole Saturday sitting in a doctor's office, you know, and end up paying them money. And what are they going to do? They're just going to tell me I'm sick and they're going to send me home. Fucking useless. It's a ripoff. It's a ripoff. If I get sick in America and I go to the hospital, which is, you know, I don't have any insurance, for example, I get charged maybe $1,000, right? Okay. Well, if I don't go, I pay every month $500 here in this country. $500 a month for a healthcare system that I never ever use. And the quality sucks, the doctors are shit, and you gotta pay a premium. You know, it's not cheap at all. This is healthcare for everybody. Healthcare for all. It's a terrible idea. Terrible idea. It just doesn't work. It doesn't work. The doctors are they're wasting more money. They're asking people to come when they don't need to come. It's like, it's just subsidizing the medical industry is a terrible, terrible idea. It's never going to work. The quality is going to plummet and the price is going to go through the roof. I can't believe people don't understand it. It's very, very basic, simple economics. But if I go to the hospital in the U.S., I don't have insurance, maybe I pay $1,000, right? But if I go to the hospital once a year here and I pay $500 a month, well, how much is that? That's $10,000 I gotta pay. You know, I mean, this is ridiculous, man. This is insane. I mean, it's way higher to pay the tax, to pay this healthcare for all nonsense. And then you gotta pay the pension system, which is other socialist bullshit crap here. Pension system, they tell you to your face, you're never gonna get it. One is you're a foreigner, so you're never gonna get it, and two is right now you're almost 40, so you're never gonna get it because the pension system is insolvent already. It's a broken pension system. Why is it broken? Well, because the Japanese government has negative yielding bonds. And the negative yielding bonds make up for 40% of the Japanese pension system. So 40% of the pension system is losing money just on the negative rate of return. And then you have more people retiring than people coming into the workforce. So it's like this huge bubble, this balloon that's being popped in so many places, and the air is just blowing out of it. So the currency, the pension currency that everyone's paying into is just boom, like a balloon. I mean, it's ridiculous. Nobody should pay this crap. It's a total ripoff. It's a scam. And people are brainwashing in this thing like, I'm paying the government now, so and when I retire after 30 years later, the government's going to pay me back the money that I paid into the system. No, that's not how it works. It's not all how it works. You're paying in the system for the people that retire are going to get money. You're paying the old people that aren't working right now. 70 years old, 80 years old people. You're paying in the system so they can get money. And you're betting that when you're old, after another 40 years later, that there's still going to be enough money in the system that you're going to get the benefit, which is mathematically impossible. Why? Because the pension system is corrupt with ridiculous bad investments. The pension system is insolvent with negative yielding bonds. The pension system is way underfunded, you know. I mean, it's just, the whole thing is ridiculous. This is socialism, you know. This is socialism. This is what everybody wants so bad in the U.S. over there. You know, Bernie Sanders and healthcare for all and all these bozos that have no idea how it is. I'm telling you how it is right now. I live in it. I've been living in it for 8 years. I've been working my ass off in this country every single day for 8 years. You're sick, you gotta go to work. You gotta work 12 hours a day. You work 14 hours a day. You sit in traffic jams for 3-4 hours a day. And I don't even, my car doesn't even have air conditioning. I'm so broke. I get paid $5,000 a month, and I'm broke as hell. I sit sweating in an air conditioning-less car every single day, sitting in traffic, working. No vacations, no fun, no. All you do is you just pay all your money away on taxes. Taxes. Every month they take 60-70% of taxes, of your money, of your salary in taxes. I get paid $5,000 a month, and then all that's left over is maybe $1,500. And then I gotta pay all my bills, because living here ain't free. So I gotta pay all my bills, and then what I have left over to save, $100? That's it. It's a fucking joke. You work here 8 years, and what can you save? Nothing. I got no savings. The government's taking it all from me. That's what socialism is. There's no future. I got no future. Because I don't have any money invested. I've been working all this time, and I got not a dime invested because I paid all my money and my productivity into the government tax system for their socialist nonsense. Because they borrowed all this money, they busted out all this debt, they'd blown out the deficit. And so that's what socialism is. There's no future. You got no future. If you want to have future in this system, this money system that we live in, where you're working and you're getting paid, if you want to have a future, then you got to save money. You got to invest. That's how you invest in the future in this particular money system, is investing money into your future. If you don't have any money to invest and you're in the money system, then you got no future. And so that's what socialism is. Yippee! So that's what everybody wants. They want a life with no future. Everybody's going to be equal. Equally broke. Equally broke. You see? See, that's what it is. Everyone's going to have equal amount of no future. Everyone's going to be equally stressed out because they're working overtime for nothing. Everyone's going to be equally depressed because they got no life. This is the socialism. Equality. That's what everybody don't understand. This is equality, but it's a miserable type of existence. You know, people don't suffer together like they used to hundreds of years ago. You know, it's gonna be. And when Trump is a total idiot. He's a disaster. He's a disaster. He's a bozo, clown, fool, idiotic disaster. He's a nut. He's manic by Greenland and military and Christian and stupidest idiot, fool, asshole president that's ever existed in the history of presidents ever in time. He's an idiot. He's not going to win the next election. And so what's going to happen? You're going to have some Elizabeth Warren bozo clown. Or you're going to have a Bernie Sanders bozo clown. And they're going to come in and the Democratic Congress, they're going to pump out money out the ass, and they're going to boost up the government debt like you've never seen. Trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars. Inflation is going to go sky high. The taxes are going to go sky high. And everybody's going to be broke as shit. That's what socialism is.